What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Monday night's late night agenda. I hope that you've all had a wonderful weekend, or at least as good a weekend as it can be after the Reds were knocked out of the FA Cup. So what I thought I would do this evening was something a little bit different. Right now, I think we can all agree that Liverpool Football Club are in a little bit of a crisis. Now, where you are on that scale, I guess depends on how optimistic or pessimistic a person you are. But what I thought I would do tonight was simply pose the question, who is to blame for where we currently are? Is it the owners? Is it Pep Lijnders? Or is it Jurgen Klopp? And the reason I've thrown Pep Lijnders in there is because I'm sure you're aware there's been a lot of chat around Liverpool fans about Pep Lijnders' impact or input into Jurgen Klopp's coaching style. So I thought it would only be fair to address the three main protagonists in this story and let you guys hear my opinions on them. And of course, I look forward to hearing your opinions in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. So let's start off with the obvious one, FSG. Right now, we are looking at a transfer window where Jurgen Klopp's output will have been about £37 million for signing Cody Gakpo. And people will say that Liverpool Football Club are only spending what they can afford to spend and any profits get reinvested back in. So if you're in the pro-FSG camp, you're probably somebody that feels that they are running the club as best they can. They're making it sustainable, which I will admit is a good thing. That part, you've got me. Sustainability of the football club and making sure it's there for many generations to come. That's what we all want. And you're probably somebody who admires how clever John W. Henry and FSG have been in their ownership of the club. But I'm somebody who acknowledges all of those things, but also feel that there is definitely a portion of blame to be attributed to John W. Henry and FSG. And my reasoning is, if Liverpool are spending so much money on wages and can't afford to do deals according to the FSG pro camp out there, then why is it that we've seen Chelsea just about to spend £600 million in two transfer windows with a new owner, not an Abramovich, a new owner who was in this as a hedge fund man, who was in this to make money. And if they sign Enzo Fernandez, and it looks like they're closing in on a potential deal there with Benfica after having a £105 million offer lodged today, that would take them to 600 million. And this is where me and many other Liverpool fans feel we're being hard done by FSG. Jurgen Klopp has been hard done by FSG. So let's park them up for a second and move on to Pep Lijnders. We will come back to FSG, but let's just move on to Pep Lijnders. And of all the things I've seen in Liverpool social media and Liverpool fandom, this is the one that I honestly find myself scratching my head, not being able to figure out. Because for me, and I could be looking at this way too simplistically, if you're looking to put some blame on Pep Lijnders, in my humble opinion, that blame should probably end up on the shoulders of Jurgen Klopp. My reason being is simple. Pep Lijnders is the assistant manager. Pep Lijnders is the number two. And ultimately, the buck stops with the guy who is in charge. So if you're somebody who feels that Pep Lijnders' influence is too much on this group and that Jurgen Klopp maybe is allowing him a little bit too much free rein, then again, I come back to the point. Klopp's the man where the buck stops here. Klopp is the gaffer. And I don't want to attribute blame to Pep Lijnders or Jurgen Klopp, really. I will make a case as to why Jurgen Klopp does have some things I think he does incorrectly, but that's just a personal opinion. But if you're somebody who thinks Pep Lijnders' style is too much involved in what we play or how we play these days, again, I'm just going to keep saying the same thing. Klopp is the man who says yes or no. If Jurgen Klopp gets fired, everybody else probably gets fired along with him. If Pep Lijnders was to go, Klopp probably stays. And I don't see a situation where Jurgen Klopp doesn't take the responsibility for failures on the coaching side and the playing side of the football club. I just don't see how it exists, this hatred towards Pep Lijnders. Look, do I think that Pep Lijnders' book was a little bit cringy and a little bit poor timing when he released it? Well, yes, I do. I don't think that working on a football club like that, you should be putting out a book while you're there. I think it's something you can maybe look to do down the line, or when you're in between jobs to create a revenue stream or something. But I don't think that Jurgen Klopp, because let's be honest here, if we're blaming Lijnders, we're basically admitting that Klopp is allowing Lijnders to have this control, and nothing about Jurgen Klopp strikes me as him being a bit of a beta boy. So I don't think in any way, shape or form that Lijnders should even be in this conversation. That's my take on it. And look, I've no vested interest for or against Pep Lijnders. I just solely believe that this should only be split into two categories, FSG and Jurgen Klopp. That's what I think. But then again, I'm not on Twitter, so maybe I just have a bit of a rational brain for this one, but we'll move on to Klopp. Do I think Jurgen Klopp needs to take some of the responsibility for Liverpool's failures right now? Absolutely, 100%. For me, what I'd like to see him do a bit better is the obvious: stop relying on players who've been letting him down for so long. And to his credit, he seems to have started to do that to some extent. Obviously, I don't think Curtis Jones should be in or around any matchday squad because I don't see what he brings to the team. But he has been playing Bajcetic, he has been playing Thiago, he has been playing Naby Keita and dropping Henderson and Fabinho. And I think that is something that we all feel needed to be done, particularly around Stefan Bajcetic, who's been really good since he's come in. So from that perspective, I think Jurgen Klopp has started to do what I would like him to do. On top of that, for me, and I understand this is difficult and people will say you can't speak out against your bosses, I think right now, where FSG are in their tenure of the club and the fact that they're willing to either sell some or all of it, Jurgen Klopp is in a bit of a unique position where I do think he can put the squeeze on FSG a little bit. He doesn't have to come out and be real blunt and in your face and say John W. Henry's an absolute joke of a man, blah, blah, blah. But he can say Antonio Conte like, I need reinforcements. I need them now. If the club are to be realistic about having another top four season or knocking Real out of the Champions League, we need to strengthen. And I think every Liverpool fan would be behind him, and the owners know that. And the owners are people who like positive PR. They're not going to want to be the guys to sack Jurgen Klopp, particularly after just one half of a bad season. So for me, that side of it, I'd like to see Klopp a little bit more. Now, when it comes down to the formation and the tactics, yes, Jurgen Klopp has a big part to play. We've been unlucky. Van Dijk injured, Jota injured, Diaz injured, Darwin still carrying somewhat of a knock. We've had players who are in and out of the team, and they would be missing any team. Firmino, another one. So Klopp's been a bit unlucky. But where I've no sympathy for Jurgen Klopp is in midfield. I can understand we're missing 3 or 4 forwards. Any team would struggle. But we've all known we needed a midfield reinforcement, if not 2. And unless we're openly admitting that we're writing off an entire season, I don't understand how we haven't got reinforcements in this window, in that area. And for me, that does fall on Klopp somewhat because money was there and we bought Gakpo. Gakpo's brilliant, and I understand Klopp's thinking that Gakpo's somebody that can help us defend from the front and thus may help the midfield situation because it would take a bit of weight off the defence if we can defend from the front, right? Still with me so far? Good. Now we circle back around to FSG. And look, if I'm going to nail my colours to the mast, it is that I think the majority of the blame is to be put on the owners. I've never been a ranting, raving, always FSG out, never give them any credit type of fan. But right now, I'm struggling to see what the game plan is. I'm struggling to see what their willingness to continue to win looks like. Because right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing other owners and other clubs strengthen and look to galvanise a top 4 place. And I'm seeing another risky roll of the dice from John W. Henry and FSG, hoping that we can pull another rabbit out of the hat. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have been looking around transfers today much, but there is more talk of Liverpool maybe looking at PSGs or Juventuses or other clubs to bring in another loan signing to help us out in midfield. So if the admittance is there that we need it, why hasn't the money been there? Why does it have to be in the summer? Unless the only reason they are going to potentially invest money is if they sell off a stake in the club. I've had my say on it. I want to know who you think is to blame for this Liverpool Football Club crisis. And it is a crisis at this point. We're already out of 2 cups. We've no chance to win the league. Yes, we're still with a shout for top 4, although it'll be difficult. And we're up against it against Real Madrid over 2 legs. So I want to know who's to blame, how can we fix it, and what your thoughts are. Over to you, my friend, and I will read your comments and catch up with you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.